Hey everyone, ready to dust off your helmets and hit the highway? It's been over 40 years since those iconic California Highway Patrol motorcycles roared onto our screens in 1977. Wondering what happened to Erik Estrada, Larry Wilcox, and the rest of the CHiPs crew in 2024? Join us for a then and now look at the cast. Number 1. Erik Estrada as Officer Frank Poncherello. Ponch has still got that confidence, but it's more about a genuine smile and a way of putting people at ease. He chats with stranded drivers, offering help and a listening ear more than a stern citation. He takes calculated risks, not crazy ones. He knows the highways like the back of his hand, using his knowledge to outsmart criminals rather than just outrunning them. Ponch focuses on getting things done efficiently and helping people out. While he's a skilled rider, he uses his talent for navigating situations rather than flashy stunts. With his captivating looks and undeniable charm, Erik Estrada took the world by storm as Ponch on the iconic police drama CHiPs. His role wasn't just about action and motorcycles, it was about representation. At a time when Hispanic lead actors were rare, Erik Estrada paved the way for more diverse casting in Hollywood. While Ponch may have been his defining role, Erik Estrada's career wasn't limited to those shiny California Highway Patrol motorcycles. He continued acting, but the initial wave of fame receded for a period. Never one to shy away from a challenge, Erik Estrada embarked on a new mission: anti-drug advocacy. His dedication to this cause showcased his commitment to making a positive impact beyond the world of entertainment. As nostalgia for the 80s surged, so did Erik Estrada's popularity. He embraced reunions, music video appearances, and even landed a role on a Spanish soap opera. This retro wave proved that Ponch still held a special place in the hearts of audiences worldwide. Officer Frank Poncherello played by Erik Estrada when he was 28 years old, and now he is 74 years old. Number 2. Larry Wilcox as Officer John Baker. John's the officer everyone trusts. He's calm under pressure and takes the time to understand people's situations. This makes him a natural choice for sensitive tasks like delivering bad news, where his empathy shines through. John doesn't crave the spotlight, but leadership comes naturally to him. He inspires confidence with his competence and dedication, and colleagues look to him for guidance during tough times. Episodes like Cover for Getraer and The Strike show his ability to take charge without needing a title. In the late 1970s, Larry Wilcox became a household name. His portrayal of the stoic officer John Baker in the action-packed drama CHiPs propelled him to stardom. The show's popularity cemented his place in pop culture history. After 5 successful seasons, Larry decided to pursue a career behind the camera. He transitioned into producing, overseeing the critically acclaimed Ray Bradbury Theater. Following his initial producing success, Larry's career ventures took a turn for the worse. A series of business decisions culminated in an unfortunate conviction for securities fraud conspiracy in 2010. This legal trouble tarnished his image and marked a low point in his life. Officer John Baker played by Larry Wilcox when he was 30 years old, and now he is 75 years old. Number 3. Robert Pine as Joseph Getraer. Sergeant. Getraer isn't Sergeant Getraer anymore, at least not to most folks. He's Sarge, a nickname earned through years of service. He's probably got a bum knee from an old motorcycle accident and complains about the new recruit's music taste. Sarge can be a real grouch sometimes, especially when stuck on paperwork. But beneath the gruff exterior, he genuinely cares about the job and the people he works with. He might bring donuts for the morning shift or offer a ride home to a young officer stuck late. For over 5 decades, Robert Pine carved a niche for himself as a reliable character actor. He wasn't the leading man, but his presence on countless television shows became a familiar and welcome sight. From classic westerns like Gunsmoke to iconic dramas like Dallas and Dynasty, he brought life to diverse characters. While guest appearances were his bread and butter, Robert's most recognizable role came on CHiPs. His portrayal of the exasperated Sergeant Getraer, constantly trying to keep his officers Ponch and Baker in line, resonated with audiences for 6 seasons. Robert wasn't limited to the small screen. He ventured into feature films like Independence Day and even dipped his toes into the world of science fiction with appearances on Star Trek Voyager and Enterprise. Joseph Getraer played by Robert Pine when he was 36 years old, and now he is 81 years old. Number 4. Paul Linka as Officer Arthur Grossman. Grossman's more like that cop who shows up with a goofy grin and a joke ready to go, even when things are hectic. He can calm down a screaming match with a funny story or disarm a grumpy suspect with a playful jab. His humor isn't some act. It's his secret weapon. It helps him connect with people, make them feel at ease, and maybe even avoid a situation going south. Kicking off his career in the late 70s, Paul landed parts in action-oriented films like Grand Theft Auto alongside Ron Howard. These high-octane roles showcased his screen presence and laid the groundwork for his future endeavors. While action films provided an entry point, Paul soon ventured into television. He appeared in iconic shows like Mass H, demonstrating his comedic timing and dramatic range. Paul's career thrived on variety. He graced the screen in the critically acclaimed dramedy Parenthood with Steve Martin, proving his ability to handle more nuanced roles. He also found a home in teen dramas like Beverly Hills 90210, showcasing his versatility. Paul became a frequent face in television movies. From Fire Trapped on the 37th Floor to Every Woman's Dream, he delivered memorable performances in these standalone productions. Paul's dedication to his craft is evident in the longevity of his career. He continued to act well into the 2000s, appearing in shows like The Life of Riley. Officer Arthur Grossman played by Paul Linka when he was 36 years old, and now he is 75 years old. Number 5. Brody Greer as Officer Barry Barichnik. Have you ever met an officer who just gets it? Someone who's not only about the rules but also about the people? Meet Officer Barry Barichnik. He's the kind of guy who knows that being a cop is more than just chasing bad guys. It's about being there for the community. Barry's the officer who listens, who cares, and who goes that extra mile to make sure everyone's safe and heard. He's not in it for the glory. He's in it because he genuinely wants to help. Barry's the kind of officer who reminds us that at the end of the day, it's all about making a real positive impact on the streets he patrols. Brody Greer wasn't always chasing bad guys on TV. Before becoming a familiar face, he actually played safety for the San Jose State Spartans football team in the college league from 1969 to 1971. Then he traded his cleats for acting classes and landed his first big role on the soap opera Days of Our Lives. But it was his time as Officer Barry "Bear" Barichnik on CHiPs, 1977-1982, that really made him famous. He starred in 53 episodes and even came back for a reunion special. After hanging up his acting hat in 2010, Greer didn't stray far from sports. These days, he coaches volleyball and basketball for middle and high schoolers in Carmel, California. It seems his passion for teamwork and competition just found a new outlet. This journey from football player to actor to coach shows how Brody Greer has had a long and interesting career. Officer Barry Barichnik played by Brody Greer when he was 28 years old, and now he is 73 years old. Number 6. Lou Wagner as Harlan Arliss. Harlan Arliss, the kind of officer who thrives on the rush of the job. He's got a knack for diving into action without a second thought, driven by a solid resolve that makes him stand out. When he's driving, it's like he's in his element, handling high-speed pursuits and tricky situations with a cool head and steady hands. He's the officer who's always ready for a challenge, taking on risks with a confidence that's as real as it gets. With Arliss on patrol, you know he's not just doing his job, he's living it, and it's that genuine passion that keeps us watching and wondering what he'll do next. Lou Wagner is an American actor with a career that began in the 1960s. He's perhaps best known for his role as the young, rebellious chimpanzee Lucius in the original 1968 film Planet of the Apes, and for his series' regular role as mechanic Harlan Arliss in the NBC television series CHiPs from 1978 to 1983. Wagner's acting journey started in his teens, and over the years he has appeared in various roles across television and film. Notably, he appeared several times in Jack Webb's revival series, Dragnet 1967, and in the successful film Airport as Schuyler Schultz. His versatility as an actor is also evident from his performances in other works like Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, The Virginian, and Happy Days. Harlan Arliss played by Lou Wagner when he was 29 years old, and now he is 75 years old. Number 7. Randy Oakes as Officer Bonnie Clark. Police work is about steady nerves, not theatrics. Officer Bonnie Clark thrives on this. Forget heroics. Her strength lies in quiet determination and a calmness that inspires others. Challenges come with the badge, but Officer Clark tackles them head-on. No case is too big or small. But it's her composure in tense situations that shines. In the chaos, she focuses, analyzes, a steady hand guiding the team. This calmness is contagious. Seeing her focused motivates others to do the same. Officer Clark isn't just a great cop, she elevates everyone around her. Before becoming a household name, Randy Oakes turned heads as a successful fashion model, even winning Miss Iowa Model of the Year. At 17, she took a leap of faith and moved to New York City to pursue modeling full-time. But Randy's talents went beyond the runway. In the 1970s, she transitioned into acting, landing guest spots on popular shows like McLeod and Fantasy Island. She even appeared in movies like Acapulco Gold and the original Battlestar Galactica. Then in 1979, she landed her most famous role, Officer Bonnie Clark on the hit TV series CHiPs. However, after marrying actor Gregory Harrison in 1980 and starting a family, Randy decided to step away from the spotlight. She found joy in raising her children and, according to a 1992 interview with her husband, thrived outside of Hollywood. So, while her acting career might have been relatively short, Randy Oakes left her mark on television and continues to live a fulfilling life. Officer Bonnie Clark played by Randy Oakes when she was 39 years old, and now she is 72 years old. Number 8. Michael Dorn as Officer Jebediah Turner's anything but predictable. He's a burst of color in a world of beige uniforms. His unorthodox ways a breath of fresh air. But here's the twist. His unconventionality isn't a roadblock. It's a bridge. Turner's easygoing nature makes him instantly approachable. He's like a human decoder ring, cracking the code of communication and building connections effortlessly. Don't be fooled by his laid-back style, though. Beneath the cool exterior burns a fire for justice hotter than any inferno, towering at 6'5". With a commanding presence, Michael Dorn became a star on the small screen. He's best known for bringing the Klingon warrior Worf to life on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Worf's ridged forehead and fierce demeanor hid a complex character, a Klingon who embraced honor and duty while serving alongside the crew of the Enterprise. Dorn's portrayal of Worf was so popular that it became a breakout role. He even played a different Klingon in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. He continued to play Worf on Star Trek Deep Space Nine and appeared in all the Next Generation movies, from Star Trek Generations to Star Trek Nemesis. But Michael Dorn wasn't just about Klingons. He also directed episodes of Deep Space Nine and Enterprise, showed his range in other shows like The Guardian and The Santa Claus 2, and even lent his voice to cartoons and commercials. Dorn's career proves that an actor can be a powerful presence both on and off screen. He left his mark on the world of Star Trek and beyond. Officer Jebediah Turner played by Michael Dorn when he was 25 years old, and now he is 71 years old. Number 9. Lou Saunders as Officer Gene Fritz. Officer Gene Fritz is like that reliable watch that always keeps perfect time. He's the guy who pays attention to the little things that others might miss, and it's this attention to detail that really sets him apart. He's got an eye for the small stuff, and he sticks to the rules like glue. Think of him as the kind of person who's always thinking ahead, like a chess player who's already planning his next move while everyone else is still figuring out their current one. Fritz is the kind of officer you can count on to be thorough and thoughtful in everything he does. Lou Saunders wasn't always chasing bad guys on two wheels. Before his acting career took off, he played for the Atlanta Falcons football team. In 1975, Lou traded the football field for the silver screen, landing his first role on the police drama Bronx. He's best known for playing Officer Gene Fritz on CHiPs. Throughout his career, Lou guest-starred on many popular shows, including The A-Team, L.A. Law, and Murder, She Wrote. He also appeared in movies like Cocktail and even a TV movie about the Rat Pack. Lou retired from acting in 1998, leaving behind a diverse filmography that showcased his talents on both television and the big screen. Officer Gene Fritz played by Lou Saunders when he was 37 years old, and now he is 71 years old. Number 10. Clarence Gilliard Jr. as Officer Benjamin Webster. Webster isn't your typical cop. He brings a whole lot of life to the team with his infectious enthusiasm and endless supply of jokes. No matter how serious things get, Webster can crack a wise one or find a clever way to lighten the mood. His quick wit and sharp sense of humor are legendary. He's got a knack for diffusing tension with a well-timed quip, even in the most intense situations. Easy to talk to and always friendly, Webster's a natural people person. He gets along great with his colleagues and the community alike, making him a valuable asset both on and off the job. Lawrence Gilliard Jr. started strong with his leading role in the 1991 film Straight Outta Brooklyn. He played a teenager forced by poverty to rob a drug dealer, with devastating consequences. This launched Gilliard Jr.'s career, and he took on a variety of roles in independent films and mainstream projects. In 1993, he had a small part in Paul Mazursky's The Pickle and played a thug in Money Train. He also showed his range with a sweet and determined performance in Lotto Land. Here he played a young man who avoids drugs unlike his friends, choosing to invest all his money in lottery tickets for a shot at a better life. On television, Gilliard Jr. was often cast as streetwise characters. This began with his first TV role in the Line of Duty Street Wars. He continued this trend in Survive the Night, where he played a gang leader. That same year, he landed a regular role on the short-lived ABC series George, starring George Foreman and his sons. Gilliard Jr. played a supportive character who assisted Foreman and his family. Number 11. Bruce Penhall as Officer Bruce Nelson. Introduced as a rookie eager to learn, he quickly became Ponch's partner. Their contrasting personalities, Ponch's seasoned experience versus Bruce's youthful enthusiasm, created a fun dynamic on screen. Bruce proved himself to be a reliable officer with a strong sense of duty. Bruce Nelson's addition to the show brought fresh energy and a new perspective to the team, solidifying the image of the CHP as a capable and dedicated force. Bruce Penhall isn't your typical Hollywood star. Before lights, cameras, and action, there was the roar of engines. Penhall was a motorcycle speedway champion, conquering the track and winning the world championship title twice in 1981 and 1982. He was even a key player on the UK's Cradley Heath Heathens team. But in 1982, after a successful racing career, Penhall took a surprising turn. He traded his leathers for a badge, landing the role of Officer Bruce Nelson in the final season of CHiPs and even reprising the role in the reunion movie. This wasn't a one-time thing. Penhall went on to star in over 10 movies and appear in around 50 TV shows. He even brought his racing knowledge to the booth, working as a commentator for motorsports events. Bruce Penhall's life proves he's a man of many talents. He dominated the world of speedway racing and then carved out a successful career in entertainment, showing his ability to entertain audiences on and off the track. Officer Bruce Nelson played by Bruce Penhall when he was 25 years old, and now he is 66 years old. Number 12. Caitlyn Jenner as Officer Steve McLeish. Officer Steve McLeish's personality is marked by a blend of his past and present. His former life as a street racer gives him an edge and understanding of the racing world, which he now applies to his work as a motor officer. He is also known for driving a replica of a 1936 Jaguar SS100 in British racing green, and has made several investments, indicating a savvy and multifaceted approach to life. Caitlyn Jenner's life has been a whirlwind of athletic achievements, television appearances, and family drama. Born Bruce Jenner in 1949, she excelled in various sports before focusing on decathlon. Her dedication paid off in 1976 when she won the gold medal and the title of World's Greatest Athlete. Capitalizing on her fame, Jenner landed endorsement deals and even appeared on cereal boxes. She also dabbled in sports commentary and acting, but these ventures weren't as successful. In the 1980s, Jenner appeared on shows like CHiPs and Murder, She Wrote. Later, she explored other avenues such as motivational speaking, exercise videos, and even reality shows. A major turning point came in 2007 when Jenner joined the cast of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a reality show following her then-wife Kris and their stepdaughters, the Kardashians. While some found the show scripted and tedious, it became a ratings hit. Despite her initial disapproval of their antics, Jenner remained on the show for several seasons. In 2015, Jenner made headlines again by coming out as transgender. She transitioned from Bruce to Caitlyn, becoming a prominent advocate for transgender rights. Caitlyn Jenner's life story is a fascinating one, showcasing her journey from Olympic champion to reality TV star and transgender icon. That's a look back at the cast of CHiPs. They brought us highway action and humor for years. Would you love to see a CHiPs reunion or maybe a reboot with a modern twist? Share your thoughts in the comments below and I'll see you on the next one.